Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. Tonight, we're riding the Owl Hoot Trail in a game called Frontier Scum. Let's go ahead and introduce our outlaws. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and describe what hat your outlaw is, or at least used to be, wearing. Melissa?
So I am playing Stunice Pitts, who is known as Balderdash. She had a hat. She sacrificed the hat to save her life in the last episode. But I would like to think that this was, obviously a cowboy hat style, but it was more of the kind of crimson red style, a little more of kind of the suede texture to it. And it had, kind of the ring around that had a little bit of sort of like the feathered suede that kind of went around the hat itself. But
You said
unfortunately,
red,
a
and
bullet
I'm
hole
just
went through it.
imagining the bright red woody hat with like the white lace.
That would be a white hat. Would not be. So yes, it has a very nice feathered, suede feel, and a big bullet hole that went right through it, and it went out the tree.
So you're looking for a new one. Moving along, we're playing without Aaron tonight, so let's skip right over to Jeff.
Howdy. I'm playing Arthur Rotgut Holler. He's a butcher cook, and he likes some Vaseline. And his hat, that's a good question. I think he's wearing a kind of like I'm looking him up, an open crown, rounded crown with no dimples, kind of like a rounded hat, because he's got a big old round head and a big old round body. And so I feel like he's got a big old round hat while he's at it.
Like a Boss of the Plains.
A little bit, but no, I think Boss of the Plains, doesn't that still have the dimples?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Okay. I'll look it up right. Oh, here we go. Let me take a look. Yeah, no, yeah, like a Boss of the Plains. Well done. But maybe a little flatter, a little flatter around. Doesn't have the kind of curves.
I've been doing way too much research into cowboy hats lately. It doesn't matter, but it's just one of those things that I've just been, I got to know every type of hat that cowboys used to wear.
The two of y'all were just saying words that were words, and yeah, I'm sure they mean things, but
you do have the ability.
Seems likely.
You do have the ability to Google search cowboy hats and see various visual aids to help you in your selection.
My thumbs are broken.
Had Stephen given us a little forewarning that this question was going to come up, the Googling could have happened ahead of time, and I could have also said, I know things about cowboy hats.
I love that Melissa's the window right next to mine, because now I just get to spring everything on her while everyone else has time to Google in the background.
It's great. It's great.
You can blame Jeff for that. He made the overlay. So moving right along to Kipser. Who is your character and what hat are you wearing?
Well, golly, y'all. I am Weslee, Cadaver Kid, Elseworth, and I don't know why I'm here, but there's a bunch of horses around, and I'm pretty happy about that. So my hat is the head of a horse, just stuffed toy-like, but it's let me put this image here into Discord for people. Oh, there we go. It is the head of a horse. It's got the mouth, the little eyes, the mohawk. It looks like it's done by a 5-year-old. There you go.
What in the Corleone is going on here?
Oh, that's great. See, I should have said mine was made out of like stretched like human skin or something, because of all the people that I've murdered.
Totally, you can make a human skin hat.
Missed opportunity.
It's okay, Melissa. You're out of practice of playing bad people.
This is what happens when I'm not right next to the GM and I do get Google time. Something terrible.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, our anchor. Derek, who are you playing and what hat are you wearing?
So I'm playing Stunice Bardog Odyang, and for my hat, I just have a brick, which is just a cattleman hat with a squared crown, no ridges, nothing fancy. I'm gonna say it's just like leather, but it's been dyed, so it's a black like the one I'm wearing, and that's about it.
Fantastic. Now, last session saw our outfit of outlaws out of sorts in a prison car that they promptly busted out of. Tangling with some guards put Bardog out of commission, but overall the outfit came out on top. Now that they're out of the frying pan, let's find out how the rest of the breakout plays out. We are picking up right where we left off. You all are in the barracks car. I posted the link for you. Essentially, it's a rail car with just a dozen bunk beds. Each bed has a locker associated with it. We left you all as you were changing out of your prison uniforms and into guards' clothes, or at least some of you were. You don't all have to. You have all picked up at least a pistol, and there are clubs as well if you would like. Make sure you put them in your inventory because the amount of slots on your character sheet are the amount of items you can carry. What is your plan of attack here? Deadward is miserable from being out in the heat up above on the car. So he is going to lay down in one of these bunks until he cools off, and then he'll catch up with the rest of the outfit. What's our next plan here?
I mean, initially, Balderdash is looking for her hat, so she is initially going to longingly look out over the plains and see if she can.
Yeah.
That brings up a
I was going to
good
ask.
point, actually. Yeah.
Is Bardog injured?
Bardog is injured. And as you are taking a breather and resting here, you after each fight, you get to roll 1d4 and regain that much health.
Okay.
And this just happens from catching your breath. Hopefully that's enough for Bardog. Possibly not. Stunice or Stunice. No, it's Stunice is Balderdash. Stunice is Bardog. So Balderdash, you look out and the train has been going for some time, but you can see your hat was actually shredded by the sand alongside this rail. Just landing there tore it to bits. The grit was just like sandpaper.
And you just see her just kind of like, as you would sort of take a hat and hold it over your heart, she just sort of like holds it over her heart and just, well, you saved my life. You were a pretty girl. Someday. And then she just kind of looks back up and kind of looks around to see what everybody else is doing.
Possibly first funeral for a hat we've had on the channel.
First time for everything.
Stunice, are you conscious? Or you were conscious before? Have you healed?
So how does this work? Because I had -3 health from the damage I had taken, and then I rolled a 3, so I'm at 0 health.
So you were at 0.
Yeah.
So you're not actually dying unless you take more damage and you have to roll for it. The rules did say that if you were at negative health, you are crawling and stumbling. So I would say 0 is not negative. So you're basically back in commission fully.
Okay.
If you take another hit, though, there's a good chance you'll be dying or dead.
Do we have any laudanum around this train car or anything?
Well, so that's what I was going to ask. One of my abilities is I'm very good at stitching up flesh. And I was wondering if there's something I might do to lend aid to old Bardog and see if I can help him recuperate.
Yeah, so as far as I know, there aren't actually rules for healing in that way. So the way I would rule that is that it would be we're on a moving train and you have no actual medical kit. So I think it makes sense that this would be a difficult roll. So let's say difficulty 14 wits, and then you'll be able to heal, we'll say 1d4 again, like resting.
Okay, I rolled a 19.
And you are skilled, so you get advantage. Okay, 19, you already passed.
I get a crit. Hang on. I could not, but I did get a 14 on the other one. So both of them passed. So is that like double?
So Raka, why don't you roll that since you're the one doing the healing?
So it's a D4, or how much? How much was it?
D4, yeah.
Okay, come on over here. Quit your fiddling. Quit fussing.
Did I look cool coming off the roof kicking that guy in the throat?
I really wasn't looking. I was up on the roof. Anyhow, you got 3. You get 3 back.
Okay.
I don't know. I heard a lot of screaming and, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I assume that wasn't you.
Oh. Although
Okay.
it couldn't have been the other guy, kicked him in the throat and broke his windpipe.
Well,
Who did that?
It's a mystery, is what it is.
Completely unknown.
Oh, that was me. That was me. My hat took the shot, though. I'm all fine, in
Oh,
case
yeah?
anyone was worried.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so glad
How'd you
you're
get that
all right.
bald spot?
Oh, well, at least it didn't, and she's like frantically sort of like fixing her hair, how her hair is going over.
Put some Vaseline to hold it in place.
And so she just like takes his balls out and just like shoves it in Rocket's face. Like, can you do something about that?
I don't really have anything to repair female
Bardog said
pattern
Vaseline will work.
baldness.
Can you throw some Vaseline on it?
Well, I could, but I'd rather not, as I need to apply it to old Deadward's hands. He burned them up on the roof. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to help you get hair back. So I don't
Oh,
want to waste it.
damn.
You know, I got an idea.
What's that?
And so
What's that?
he looks around. He looks around for anybody who has hair who's dead, and he starts ripping out their
A
hair.
lot of people have hair. How thick it is depends on the person.
Yeah.
So let's make this roll to see.
He's gonna
see
get
how
pulled
much
out
hair
back
people
Now
hair.
have.
hold on,
we'll
y'all.
call this a
I
luck
got a
check.
straight razor. We don't
And
have
we'll
to
call it
rip it
single.
out.
No. I think we need to pull it out.
I
So,
we don't really need to rip
I
it
wanna-
out.
gotta
I
get
think
it-
just
you
wanna
can
pull
just
it out.
like get a good.
You gotta
I want
get it
I
by
want
the
the
Hold
root.
on.
Yeah,
All
you gotta
right,
get it by the
well-
root.
So it
It's the only way it's
grows.
gonna
You know
grow.
what?
I wish
You
you the
know
best
what?
of luck.
I've always had the brunette going on. Is there any red around? You could like stick some red on there, and like,
there's a lot of red around, that's for sure. I don't know how
that
much
look-
is natural.
not the blood, the color. Like it would be so. That would just look so pretty if I had like a little like streak of red in the middle of the yeah.
Okay,
That's
Balderdash, you're the one who wants red, so we're gonna have you make the luck roll. And we're gonna say if you want it specifically to be a different color, it'll be 14 difficult. Otherwise, you're gonna get what's left.
I got 11.
All right. Unfortunately, there are no gingers in this car. Well, fortunately, because they're dying.
Whoa!
breed,
That is
so-
a offensive term, sir.
Unfortunately, there are no redheads. Or is it
That's
fortunately?
better. That's better.
Okay. Apologies to all the people with red hair. I meant no offense, and I will go on an apology tour.
It's
after
okay if
this
they died,
episode.
though. They don't have any
You
soul.
need a
so it's fine.
ukulele for that.
Steven is.
I do have one within reach.
Okay.
I'm learning to play.
Hmm.
Okay. So your choices are very thin gray hair and black hair.
I'll take the black. I'll go gray
Wow.
someday, but I'm just not there just yet.
No,
So
take the
you're
gray
gonna-
hair now. It'll give you wisdom, I think.
No. So you're gonna like plug them in, right? You're gonna like poke them in.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so what Arthur does is he gets a little bit of his Vaseline and he gets it all nasty and such with the hair, and he just like smushes on top of her head. Now you just let it sit there like that, okay? Let it sit there. Now don't go fussing
looks
with
great.
it. You fuss
Still
with
stuck
it.
to his hand.
He's holding up his hand. You fuss with it, and then the roots ain't gonna take a hold now. Okay, so you gotta let it sit. You gotta let it work its
I
magic.
won't touch it. I won't touch
Okay.
it.
All right. There you
Balderdash
go.
has lack of judgment as one of her like traits. So like this sounds like it's gonna work to her.
Balderdash has a glob of Vaseline and hair on her head. Rocket has Vaseline and hair all over his hands. The camera pans. We see Deadward sleeping on a bunk with a hat over his head and boots that are too small. Where all are you going after this? A reminder that the way you came from is a prison car, and you know that there were other cars that direction as well that are prison cars. And then the way you were going, which is how you found your way to the barracks, is unknown. So there are more cars up ahead, and that leads towards the engine.
Well, golly, before we do all that, let's these are the barracks, so let's just check for some swap clothing. I don't think running around like prisoners would be a smart.
Yeah. Thought we did that already, though.
Yeah,
We're quite good at it, but I think I'd prefer not to burn my hands on the top.
No, I meant like I thought we already
That's why y'all
switched clothing.
Sorry, I was
Oh,
I know
I
Aaron and
thought
I
we
wanted to
needed
do
to
that, so I
roll
can't
a
remember who
search
said it.
for
Yeah.
that. No.
You don't necessarily need to search. You can just
Okay.
take time. We'll call it a success because you're not under pressure right now. You can go through. There are plenty of lockers with all sorts of clothing. There are 12 different bunks here and more than 12 lockers, foot lockers. And it also seems like a lot of people share lockers as well. So it's hard to gauge how many guards there might actually be on the train, but it's a good amount. And you can go through their clothing easily and find clothes that fit you or mostly fit you, no problem.
We throw the bodies off the train just so it's a little more confusing and less likely if anybody comes back this way or up this way.
Well,
So, do we anticipate anyone coming up from the caboose this way that actually is a guard? I remember we saw some pass.
So
but I thought
you
we waited
were
for them to come
able to
back.
keep track of the patrols.
Yeah.
All of the patrols came from the front and they would go to the back and then come back. You know that there was not a patrol that went past you before. So as far as you know, there's no one back there. That doesn't mean that there might not be a caboose with passengers or guards there, but they don't
Right.
patrol. So if they came through, it would be a very rare occurrence.
well, I mean, Deadward's here. He can come up with something if someone passes by. Oh, they were dead when I got here, something like that. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, sounds good. That was a very reasonable explanation.
It's technically true for that one and that one. Well, the rest of them we were killing back here, but that's fine. No one's counting.
So
All
we're
right.
going toward the engine, so we're like taking control of this whole.
Yeah, we
Let's
gotta
go.
find our stuff too. I'm missing my lovely sledgehammer, Molly.
Plus, I'm kind of hungry. I could get some food in my belly.
Huh?
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
go. Let's go.
So, is there anything he can do? Old Artham can do as he moves towards the next car? Because we hopped down. I remember Deadward and I hopped down. Is there anything you do as he kind of goes through the car connector to like listen in or like, I know it's so noisy here, so I don't know how, like, if there's anything I can glean from it, but is there anything? Is there a window on the other door? Something like that?
I'm going to say no. It specifically says that the thick black iron walls, and the rattle of the rails keep all sounds from traveling between cars. So I don't think, even with the check, it would be very hard to get something from there. And the windows, even in this barracks here, most of the windows are covered because the sun is so bright outside that you would just be cooking with the light coming in. So they tend to be very dim with like kerosene lamps for lighting instead of allowing the light in.
I got an idea. Okay, Balderdash, come here. Take your gun and put it like right here. Okay, put it like right there on my head, not yours. Right here. Are you gonna put?
Got it.
Thank you. Gee,
Got it.
no, not her. Okay, all right. And so we're gonna do like, hey, yeah, I'm a guard, and hey, something's bad, and then we're ready to go. And like he's gonna, okay.
And so I'm going to get my heavy chain, and I'm just going to like wrap my heavy chain loosely around my wrists to make it look like I'm actually chained, but really I just have it as a weapon. And I'm just going to like bang really hard on the door.
You bang really hard on the door. And for a good bit, there's no response. And you kind of start to worry that there might not even be anyone in this car. But then after a moment, the door opens. And you see a guard come out. He's a big burly man, several days of stubble growing. What do you want? What?
We got a prison break, boss. Oh my God, she got a gun in my head. Look at her right there. Oh,
And let's go ahead and roll initiative.
He's not right next to me, so I keep going.
you're definitely gonna. Let's go into initiative. I'm gonna say you get the ambush. This makes complete sense. He was not prepared for this at all. So we're gonna go into combat. PCs are gonna go first. He's gonna go after you. So Balderdash, it makes sense that you would go first here. You've got the gun out. What are you doing?
I have pointed to Rotgut's head, and then I try to come up and kind of cover his ear and then just shoot the other guy. So just kind of like spin the gun real quick and just shoot it and attempt to not deafen Rotgut while I do that.
You're being nicer than Deadward was last session. So with guns, you automatically hit unless it's a tough shot. So go ahead and roll your damage. It's a D6, and these revolvers do explode. So if you roll a 6, you roll again.
Okay. That's a 2. Not a 6.
So perhaps because you were covering Rotgut's ear, your shot goes just a little bit wide. You still hit him. You get a chunk off his arm, and you hear him start cursing, "You son of a bitch!" And he starts pulling for his pistol. Rotgut, what are you doing?
Okay, so Rotgut wants to go for the arm that's going for the pistol and try to like wrap the chain, and so to prevent him from pulling his gun out.
All right, this is going to be a grit check then.
All right. Now, you said the ambush got off. I do have the skill ambushery. So would that apply here?
I think that's an excellent argument right there.
Yeah,
it's a technical ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're still ambushing. Yeah, take it.
Yeah, buddy. Well, that's good because that one's a fail. Okay, got it on the second time. That's a 17 plus. You said grit?
Grit, yeah.
19 total.
Okay, and we're just calling the standard for now, so you only needed a 12. So
Okay.
you go and you get to do a little bit of damage here as well.
No.
Because the game kind of has a wrestling clause where combatants are trading blows back and forth in combat, but you still get to do your damage. So I believe for unarmed, it is 1 plus half your grit. Let's go ahead and make it 2 plus half your grit because you're using the chain.
Okay, so 3. Be 3 total.
3. Okay. So between the two of you, how are you killing this guard?
So I figure you shoot the first time and it just kind of grazes him. He goes for his gun. I grab it. And then like I kind of present him in full frontal. That's not the right phrase. In your direction. So that
No, that's the right phrase.
Now, I don't think you needed to take all your clothes off for this.
Don't shoot him in the clothes. We want clean clothes.
Yeah, well, all right. If that's what you want.
All right, I'll just go straight for the face. Straight for the face.
Balderdash gets the second shot off. He falls dead, and it pushes the door open even more. It swings back into the car, and you see that this is a mess car. There's a clutter of tables and chairs with bowls and cutlery strewn haphazardly. There is a cook in the back stirring a stew, and then there are several guards that were eating, drinking, and talking, but are now shoving their chairs back, standing up, and reaching for pistols. Cadaver Kid, Bardog, you two are just behind Rotgut and Balderdash, but you can still get shots off on at least 2 of these people. You have clean line of sight.
I shoot the cook. No, I'm kidding. I guess I'll go for one of the guards. Is there anyone that's closer to Rotgut and to Balderdash?
Both of the guards are about halfway through the car here. So they're not necessarily
opposite each other.
Yeah, they were sitting at the same table. And then you can see like there's movement and shadow of another guard off to the side, but he's not a clean shot. You could still shoot at him, but it would be a roll. It would be a tough shot essentially.
Yeah, I'll just shoot one of the 2 that just stood up. Let's see. Got a 1.
Well, here I'm thinking that Bardog is going to be killing this guy, so we'll be shooting the other one standing up. He's
All
not, but that's what I thought.
Roll your damage. We got 1 on the one standing up. Let's go ahead and say that you're with all the shaking of the rail car. You shoot and it actually ricochets off the table and it takes some of the momentum. It still hits him in the side, so he's taking the damage, but not as hard.
Well, here I just aimed and blessed them in the face.
How
Seems to
much
work
damage are you
quite
doing,
well.
Kipser?
6.
Ooh, you killed that one. Go ahead and describe that.
Unless I just. Oh no, it explodes. So maybe more damage. Hold on. Let me just add more damage. 8 actually. Just because I killed them already, but I wanted to do
that
it.
one.
His face is gone.
So what's it look like? He's standing up from the table, and then the face just kind of implodes backwards. The body slumps to the floor. You hear from the other card, the guards start moving. Shit, ambush. And he starts pulling a pistol and he starts shooting back at you all. And I was doing this wrong last session. The guards, when they have clear shots, they also just do their damage. So one of them does not have a clear shot, and he is going to shoot at Rockgut. So give me a luck test there, Rockgut.
Okay, here we go. That went out of the box. Let's try it again. That is a 12 with my -2 luck.
Well, okay, so that passes. So the shot just splinters into the door frame. Wood goes flying, but it does not actually hit you. The other guard
He's gonna yell back.
gets to shoot.
I'm one of you. What's wrong with you?
There's black smoke rising. The train is rattling. Gunfire's going off. He's firing at the doorway. And you know what's funny is that I actually rolled, and it's still going at Rockgut for the second guard.
Why? I'm gonna tell our supervisor about you. What are you, blind? We're dressed the same.
2 damage. So they're just blasting at the door frame, regardless of their own guy. They're horrible shots at her.
I can't believe you shot me, buddy. We played poker together. You fool.
We're going into the next round, and this was something else I messed up last session, is that at the start of every round, we roll initiative. So it's not just at the start of combat. So everyone go ahead and roll a d6 now. 4 to 6, you get to go before the bad guys here. All right, so Rockgut is going at least first. 3 for Balderdash. Derek?
2.
2. Okay. And Kipser?
Let me just do a quick roll. I apologize. 1.
1. Okay, so Rockgut, you're the one going first. You're getting blasted.
Okay.
There are 2 guards. We'll say that one of the guards actually moved to the other side, so he is now a clear shot as well.
Okay. Do either of them... Are they buying my story that we're on the same team? Did they look guilty?
I think there's a chance. Let's go ahead and give it a slick is deception. So we'll call it slick. And there's a lot of chaos here. You had the ruse. Go ahead and take it with advantage.
Oh, okay. Because it's good because I rolled a 3 on the first roll. No, no, they're not buying it. It's okay. A 6.
It's not necessarily that they don't believe you, but there's just too much chaos, and it's a small doorway, so they're just shooting at the doorway.
Okay. Okay. I do have a pistol. So can you? I'm sorry. Can you explain like the positioning again? Where they're at?
They're maybe 10 steps ahead of you. You could make it in a single move.
Okay.
Or you can just get a clear shot off on them if you want.
I'm going to charge at one, maybe the one that Bardog shot, and with my chain, just be like, I can't believe you shot me. We played poker together. And I'm just going to leap at him and try to do some horse wrestling.
Fantastic. So that's going to be grit. I'm not going to give you advantage for the horse wrestling.
But they're cowboys.
He's much smaller
than
than
horses.
At the right angle, it might look like they've got 4 legs.
If you can wrestle a horse, you can wrestle a person. Come on.
I mean, the horses can stand on 2 legs, right? Just like a
Catches
crocodile.
Houlihan over here. You do not get the horse wrestling on this one.
Wow. I'm not even asking for ambushery. I'm just asking. Like he thinks we're on the same team, and I'm attacking him. All right. Fine. Okay. Well, that serves you right. That's a 17 on the die. That's like my freaking 50th. That's my third 19 tonight. That's another 19.
All right, so how much damage was that? 2 plus half
19,
your grit?
Right? 2 plus
20,
half my grit is 3 again. Yeah, because my grit is 2.
3.
So
Okay, so you rush forward with this chain, and you tackle him to the ground. He goes prone, and you're just pummeling him with the chain. He's still alive. He's very bloody, beaten. The chain hits him in his face. He spits out tooth and blood, but he is still alive.
I can't believe you shot me. We're on the same team, you fool. You idiot. What's wrong with you?
is what he's screaming.
And this would invoke the wrestling clause because you're like hand to hand with him. He does not get to attack back. You're trading blows. You pass the check. It only happens once per round. So essentially, he does not get to hit you. You've taken up his turn with this. The other guard, however, is going to be a little shocked by this, but still going to keep shooting at the door where the gun is. I think that makes more sense. So he's going to be going for. He's shooting at the door, but we're going to see who his bullet might hit. It's going to be Bardog. Sorry, buddy, there. And rolling damage.
Is that a 6?
No, it's a 5.
Oh, okay.
Are you
Okay.
still up?
I'm -2.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I keep picking on you.
Take
here.
your hat
You're
off.
never gonna play
Take
with
your
me
hat
again.
off.
Yeah, your
Oh,
hat can be
yeah.
blown off if you'd like.
Just lose your hat. Stay in the fight.
Then, all right. Yeah, I'll get rid of my hat. All that prep work too. Okay.
So your hat goes flying. Instead, give us a luck check to see if it's recoverable at the end of the fight.
16.
16 passes, yeah. So the hat gets stuck like in the railing of the in between the cars here. And now the three of you can go. So why don't, if you're shooting, all three of you have open lines of sight at the one standing. It would be a difficult shot at the one being grappled right now. So if you're
So
shooting, it'll be
Balderdash-
14 to hit the guy grappled. Otherwise, just roll your damage.
So the first thing that Balderdash is going to do is because there's the guy that she shot who fell down. I'm assuming with a hat on his head. So she's going to use her movement, just sort of narratively, to walk over, pluck the hat off of his face that got shot off, kind of do a little shake off of any blood on it, and stick it on her head. Everything in the universe is now okay again. She's got a hat on her head. And now she's going to shoot.
Okay, so we won't say that it takes an action to take someone's
I know,
hat from
right?
now, but we
Certain
might
That's
wait.
totally
games.
fine. No, it's
Certain
totally fine.
games,
It's totally
interact
fine.
action.
No, it's fine.
Draw
It's
your
fine.
hat, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You guys have this fight well in hand, so it's okay.
That's a 4.
4. All right. He's still up because he hasn't been hit, but you shot him. He grabs his stomach, and you see blood just start pouring out. Cadaver Kid, Bardog, what are you two doing?
Now, before I go, I do have a question because we got a bunch of bits now. Do we want to do that 1 HP per 100 thing, or do we want to do a +1 on the die?
Okay. So I've got a boost in game. Melissa, if you don't mind keeping track of that like you normally do, I'd appreciate it. It's in Foundry.
Got it.
Let's go ahead and say, we'll say we haven't gone over that, have we?
Not at all.
Let me think over it for a bit. But we're not going to give you the
All
HP
right.
right now. And
All right. Well,
Do you want us to wait? Like, we can wait if you want.
oh
to
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
about it.
What, like 30 minutes? We can sit here.
let's wait till some
Talk.
complications roll in, and then we'll
Let's
decide
talk
what to do
about
with it.
hats. Y'all want to talk about
yeah.
hats some more while
Look at
Steven
the
thinks?
hats. Well, we thinking about talk about hats. I'll just shoot one of the guys that's still standing. I'm not going to try to get in on the wrestling yet. How about I kill another one though?
So roll your
hold
damage.
on. I did. I rolled a 6 and another
Oh.
4 for a total of 10 damage.
You
That's
are
why I said I'm
overkilling
going to
again.
write murder another fellow there.
Yeah. So 10 damage. He just got gut shot. Another bullet follows up. What's this look like?
Well, it looks like Aaron actually suckles the luck from all the rest of our rolls, and now that we actually have our luck back, we're just blasting holes in people.
Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and say it's another headshot. You are just deadly aim right now. There's a reason you're called the Cadaver Kid. You make a lot of them.
I just
and
want my
another
horse
body.
back. All just get out of my way.
Another body falls to the floor. Bardog, you are left. If you want to melee, you're not going to risk any harm to Rotgut. If you're trying to shoot, there is a chance you could hit Rotgut.
Okay. Bardog will walk up to Rotgut and be like, you want some help there, or you got him?
I got him. I'm right.
Nope.
Well, I mean, you can. Here you go. Yeah, I can't believe. I don't know this fella. I don't know why he's talking to me like that. I can't believe you shot me.
I'll just club the guy in the side of the head while Rotgut's punching him.
Nice.
Okay, we'll call this an automatic hit too. He's so occupied with Rotgut, you can get an easy shot in. And he's only got 1 HP left. So go ahead and describe what it looks like here, Bardog.
I think what'll happen is I'll hit him in the jaw, and it'll just completely like break and dislocate away. So he's like that, as Rotgut's just pummeling his temples in.
Yeah, between it all, he's just beaten senseless and dying or dead. Rotgut, by the time you're done pummeling, you realize there's not much life left in him. You pull up, you all regain your bearings, and you see that the chef on the far side of this car is still stirring the pot. She's a larger lady. She's got muscles upon muscles. And there's also an old mangy mutt next to this counter that she is behind, lying on a rug, just smelly, torn up rug. And she just keeps stirring the stew. She's looking at you all, but she's not made any sort of sudden movements or any moves to stop you or to help the guards.
As a fellow cook, let me step up, shaking my hands off, looking down at the pummeled head. You should have said something. Now you can't speak for it. Never mind. Well, hello there, madam. As he picks up his hand, which is just hanging and dripping with the blood and the hair of this guy. Well, hello, madam. Pardon us. We do not mean to interfere. What you got there cooking?
Well, I suppose I'm used to dust up every now and then. I've got stew. It's for the guards, though.
Well, as you can see, we here are guards.
Got bright clothes this time.
Right here. Look at that. Fetching figure, aren't we?
Truly
Y'all don't
fetching.
really act like guards, considering you're shooting other guards. No, I'd say it's more likely that the prison break story you made was the true story.
Well, I mean, honestly, you think about it. We're really just technically guarding our lives and our freedom from these other folk. So technically, from that sort of philosophical sort of point of view, we are in fact guards.
I got an important question though, ma'am. What's your dog's name?
Tyson.
I got some horses myself. I love much anything with 4 legs.
And he's got 4 of them. And while we're philosophizing, I suppose I might tell you all that I'm guarding this stew because I'm paid to only serve it to guards.
Oh, we don't mean you or the stew or Tyson any harm. I think we might not mind some actual quality victuals. It's been a bit since those were in front of us.
Wait, I'm sorry. What are you trying to say? We haven't been in the train that long. I just made stuff before we put on the train. We're trying to say quality victuals.
Is it inappropriate to say that I'm a little bit hungry?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying the last time someone cooked for you was me, and then like now you're saying it wasn't quality. Like that's. But Bardog, you see a knife in my back? Because it sure as hell feels like there's one.
Bardog's just come back from getting his hat, and he's missed some of this conversation, so he just sees like the half-eaten bowls of stew on the table. He just walks over and picks it up. That's pretty good, y'all.
How does she react to him eating?
She keeps stirring her pot. She does not make any motion to stop Bardog at all.
Why y'all look so terrified? This is good.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll go grab an empty bowl and hold it out to her to see if she'll fill it for me.
Let's call this a wits test to persuade. And you know how we can use these boosts? Before you roll, you can choose to use 1 or 2 for +1 or +2 to your roll.
Well, I got a -3 in my wit, so I should probably take that +2.
All right, so that's 2 boosts there.
Please and thank you. Well, that's a 15 +2 for 17 because rolled real well.
You go up with an empty bowl and she's still stirring, and you realize that she's got one arm that has not come up above the counter and it's holding something under the counter.
I was
And-
wondering if she had a shot table.
She pulls out a shotgun and slams it on the counter, slightly aimed towards Cadaver Kid, but not really pointed, and she doesn't have her finger on the trigger. And she reverses her grip on the ladle, pulls it up, and then slops some into your bowl.
Mighty kind, thank you. And Cadaver Kid will just eat.
I suppose there's plenty to go around now that they're all dead.
Balderdash will look over at Rocket to move toward
I
a
can't
bowl.
I can't even look at you. No. You go ahead. What's in that fine smelling stew? What Oh, actually, what kind of meat we talking about? We talking about little beef. We talking about some pigs.
No, we
some
don't got
pork?
cows on the train. We
What
get
about
whatever
pork?
meat comes to us.
Where's the meat come from?
Front of the train.
Meat
Next
comes
car.
from front of the train. Okay, so it's like a slaughterhouse or something up there.
More like holding pens.
Holding
I cook with whatever meat comes.
I hear you.
Eagle,
Okay.
monkey, rat.
Right. Yeah, I had to eat some of that sometimes.
Sorry,
What about
eagle? Does that come
people?
often?
Occasionally. Did you want some? He looks towards both Raka and Balderdash. Or she.
I think Rocket would like to take a look at the stew and with his butcher cookery, which I think is his class, try to see if he can get a sense just by sniffing it or just looking at it a bit, see if he can get a sense for what it is.
Yeah, we'll say it could be harder. So you need a 10 and take advantage because your cookery or butchery or whatever it is.
It's not a skill, it's just my class or whatever.
Oh, okay.
My-
So you don't get advantage then. But you're looking for a
Okay.
10.
I mean, I am a butcher
wits.
cook. What about fire magicry? Would that apply here because stew is made with fire? You said
We
wits?
love the negotiation part. Like that's what
That's
you
why
look
I
for.
love it. I'll do it all the time, man. You said a difficulty 10. I rolled exactly a 10. I rolled a 9 and I have a +1
Perfect.
to my wits. So it gives me a 10.
Yeah, so you see a couple bits come through. A couple of them maybe bird meat. Something looks a little more stringy. You've probably cooked a lot of rodents. Overall, it doesn't seem like anything that you would object to, but it's definitely not standard fare.
Okay. All right. Well, I wouldn't mind taking a bit of a taste if that's all right.
I can make it vegetarian if you'd prefer.
Oh no, I like eating the meat. I just like to know what that meat is. That's all.
All right. And she goes down and she scrapes down the bottom. You can hear the metal on metal as she pulls up a ladle. And you see that she's got like all the meat in there and she slops it into a bowl for you. And you, she looks at Balderdash.
Balderdash had grabbed another bowl, waited behind Rotgut to not appear too eager, and then kind of holds her bowl out and it kind of does the, kind of lift off the hat. So thanks.
Were you picky about your meat too? Do you want it vegetarian?
I'm not picky at all. I've eaten just about any kind of meat there is.
And she slops a bowl for you. You all sit down or stand and consume. It tastes pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's not awful. You all can roll a d6 and regain that HP, as this is the first real meal you've had it since being on the train. You've
Heavenly.
been given water every other day and just stale bread. This is much needed nutrients.
That's all I was trying to say, that the victuals of late had not been particularly good. It was just because of, the being in the back there, not like
I
what
can't
you
believe
made forward.
you made such a salacious and terrible insult towards my person after I have helped you regain the hair that your failing genetics has stolen from you.
It was
I don't know if genetics
it
exist
was
yet. In fact, I probably shouldn't have said that.
It was the bullet. It wasn't it weren't thinning before the bullet. It was definitely all the bullet. But no, your stew is amazing. I was just talking about the hunger pangs of the last couple of days and the stale bread.
What do you like most about my stew then? Don't just throw out these empty
do
things.
say
I want some
balderdash.
specificity.
I do
I
say
think she was saying
balderdash.
that my stew is amazing because she's eating it right now.
That's true. It is amazing. And balderdash, your hair is far finer than most horse hair that I've dealt with.
It sure
Barbara
is.
still has a hand on the shotgun too.
So you're saying use whatever meat you can get. Are you going to use them now? Nervously chuckled.
Probably not. We'll restock at the next stop, but I wouldn't be if we had to. Wouldn't be the first time.
Bar dog just kind of going to sit with a spoon frozen in midair, and then just quietly, oh, just side eyes everyone else in the car.
All right.
They're making
That's a
special
good point,
order.
though. Rocket, I was going to say that the thing that I appreciate most is that no matter what meat you're using, it is always very tender. You have a way of knowing the cooking time. It doesn't matter whether you got snake or whether you got venison or whatever else it is you got.
Yeah, hear that, bar dog?
Favorite
Rocket, you know your meat.
Anyhow, madam, I was wondering if we might inquire about what you know about the rest of the train. If there's anything you might be able to provide us, we'd be most appreciative.
Well, it's the Doc's train. He owns Morgan Rail. It goes down to what?
Is he on the train? Is Doc?
He tends to stay near the front. Yeah, it's his train. He runs the operation. Train's headed to Fort Gullet. We drop off prisoners. We do a circuit, picking up more.
I see. So, do you ever drop folk off somewhere, like prisoners, and do you ever drop them off at like a town or city where they can be tried and sent to prison, executed, that sort of thing?
The ones that make it get dropped off at Fort Gullet. Yeah.
I beg your pardon. What do you mean by make it?
Live.
Oh, live through just the terrible bread and the water, or
that and the beatings and the occasionally being thrown from the train. The Doc likes to experiment here and there. The bear needs food.
Okay, you're saying things as part of a list, implying that we understand it to be on the same level as the other things that preceded it in that list. And that is not the case when it comes to the doctor testing things and something about a bear. Why is there a bear on a train?
It's too hot for a bear?
Well, Doc likes to have all sorts of stock, and occasionally we need meat for the stew.
Arthur just looks at the bar dog like
that. The temperature is the temperature.
It's sweltering in here, my friend. I'm dying. He's pulling up his collar.
It really is. He's not wrong.
Well, I imagine the bear is in a cage of sorts, not just wandering.
Of sorts.
Well, that'll be fun.
I'm sorry. Did you already provide us with perhaps a bit of information about kind of number of cars and little what we like it when we're going in that a ways direction? Are we going to run across the doctor first, or the bear first, or
You'll run across
what
the
are we
bear
gonna-
first.
Oh, good.
The
to know.
dock is somewhere past that. I don't leave the mess car, but there's a handful of cars in front, a handful of cars in back. Front of the train's the engine. Pretty standard.
Is it hibernating season for the bear?
I don't believe so. He's an ornery. He's an ornery fella.
What do you mean?
What's hibernating?
There you go again.
What is that like
Using
a
that
killing
lexicon.
season, or
You
what's
know?
that?
I don't know what that is. The horses don't do it anyway.
How do you know what lexicon is, but not hibernating?
What are you talking about? What do you mean? I need to learn a lexicon for my cookery. It's possible I might have misheard you. It's quite possible. I thought you said something else.
Yeah, I go to the next car, get stock for the stew. I come back here, I make the stew. Guards come from the other car and eat the stew. It's a good life.
Oh,
Is
you
it
see
though? How did you end up here?
Oh, the doc hired me. Needed a chef. And I know how to make a stew.
Wait, the experiment doc wanted a chef for stew?
Well, someone had to feed the guards. Guards got to eat. I know how
Oh,
to make
sure.
a stew.
I
You
just
can tell
noticed
that
the
Larbra
doc-
just loves her stew very, very much.
Hey, so here's the thing I was a little bit confused about. You said the bear is an armory fella. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
I forgot about that.
that.
What is an
that's what I
armory
suppose.
bear? Does the bear
Yeah.
supply guns?
I don't understand.
Well, I suppose it may not be a fella. I haven't really checked the undercarriage.
Well, see, this is the thing.
Well,
I know
that's
what
fair,
bear
yeah.
means. I know what armor means, and I know what fella means. But when you say a bear's an armor, a fella, and you put it together
Ornery.
like that,
Ornery.
oh,
Ornery.
I thought you said
Oh,
armory.
Ornery.
Well, see, I did mishear.
I
you.
heard
Look at that.
armory too. I thought the
Okay.
bear was a walk-in barracks.
Oh, we're fine. We can just walk on up there then.
I think it's a similar situation to like when someone says frontier.
That I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't know what a
is,
frontier is.
Is the
Oh,
is
you
the
mean
bear
frontier.
cranky? Is that what we're saying? Cranky bear?
I shoot her.
Bear's cranky.
Yeah.
He don't get
The
to eat
bear's-
much.
Bear's pissed.
You know what? Why
Oh.
don't you go ahead and take one of them guards and just hand him off to the bear?
That's a
So
good
if the
idea.
That's a pretty good idea.
That's
Save me the
good
trouble.
idea. If the stew gets all your love, does the bread get all your hatred? Because that stuff parches me something fierce.
Oh, I don't make bread. I'm not a baker. I'm a chef.
All right. Well, where do they get the bread from?
I don't know. I assume they buy it. Where else you buy bread from but a bakery?
Is there a baker that you know up ahead?
Well, every place we stop tends to have a baker, yeah. There's no baker on the train.
Okay.
I make the food on the train.
Okay. I mean,
Our dog, are
almost
you angling for more bread or something? Like
disputing
what?
that.
No,
I
I
thought it
just
was just
I could tell
moldy
she
and
takes
bad.
pride in her stew and her soup, and I'm just wondering if the bread was like to
It's
balance
a
it
stew,
out. You
not
know?
a soup.
Okay.
I don't make soup.
I
I
mean-
make stew.
I mean,
That's
had
fair.
we had the stew to dump the bread in, the bread might not have been quite so bad. But just the bread in water did not a
Okay, far
full
be it
meal
for me
make.
to dissuade additional conversation about cuisine, but we need to get off the train in a safe and reasonable manner. Are you tight with the doctor? You know him and all that kind of stuff.
Am I tight with him?
Yeah, like can you like tell us a little bit about him, or maybe put a good word for him if we want to negotiate.
Doctor's a friendly fella.
Well, that's good. That's good. Right? That's good. Okay.
He pays me.
So you've been prepaid.
Well, I've been paid. I also get paid.
All
I'm
right.
still being paid.
For the current work you've done, you've been paid. So if something were to happen,
Doctor's got loads of money. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting. I just want to make sure if something happened to Doc, you'd already have been paid for the work you're doing.
I'm
really not learning how to keep your aces hidden.
Well, I don't understand.
Okay.
I'm not sure I understand
important for the workers. And just like in the factory, when I worked there, you got to make sure your folk are paid.
Doc doesn't come back here much. He eats his own food.
They're
It's a
waiting
pity.
for you to like signal to him so he will, like a bell or something.
No, Doc doesn't come back here. It's not my job to make him stew.
Do you guys just carry your pigeons?
I think we reckon to go forward and meet this Doc. Put in some words ourselves.
Balderdash just went and got
well, I was
one
going
of
to
the
say,
bodies.
we can try to get hired as guards because I think there are some openings.
Well, you've got a lot of money. It's not a bad idea. Maybe we can rescue my horse as well.
Doc hired me. Might hire you.
Well, there you go. Things are looking up.
Balderdash has got a dead body over his shoulder because Cook said we could feed it to the bear.
She's not making any move to stop you whatsoever. She's only worried about protecting her stew. So if you bring the body like near the counter, she'll kind of like pull the stew over a bit just to make sure that it doesn't get contaminated.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's dripping a little bit. Sorry, I didn't want to be dripping in your stew. Sorry
Hey, I
about
got
that.
a question. Where'd you get that shotgun? It's mighty nice. I'd like to have one. Is that in the armory we just came from? I didn't see one in there.
My shotgun, I bought it. You buy one at Fort Gullet if you want.
All right. Thank you.
Can't have my shotgun. Can't have my
I wasn't-
shotgun or my stew.
I don't think we're looking. It's all right.
Yep.
It's all right.
I was just curious. These pistols, I can't hit anything with them. Shotgun's more my speed. But I didn't want yours. I was just curious if they had others. Anyway, have a nice day.
She goes back to stirring her stew. The same look she had, blank look, and just the same motion that she was doing the entire time. She does take the shotgun, put it back under the counter. No concern for the dead bodies of the other guards, just leaving them there.
Balderdash is just kind of standing by the door, like both hands over this one, just kind of dripping blood on the floor, just kind of waiting for somebody to like open.
All right.
You want me to open the door so that you can put that body in the next cart in case there's a bear there?
I mean, someone with a weapon might want to go in front of me because
you don't want
I'm
me
gonna have
going.
to
I'll
drop
just
this
tickle
one
them.
and shoot.
I can go. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm dressed like them. They're going to think I'm one of them. So it's fine. I worked in this
You're
car.
covered in blood, friend. Your sleeves are more red than whatever color.
So are all the guards we just passed. So, I mean, we fit right in, I think.
What are the original colors of this guard's uniform?
The guards weren't actually wearing uniforms. They were just
Oh.
wearing general clothing. The prisoners would wear the striped uniforms. So there wasn't really a need to like tell who was a guard or a prisoner because the prisoners were the ones that.
Oh.
Well, then
Okay.
we're just dressed like normal folk, and he could be wearing a red shirt for all anybody knows.
I mean, most of us have red shirts on now. Anyhow.
So I ain't actually the strongest of folk, and this body's getting a little bit.
Oh, here, you want me to
heavy.
grab that for
I'm
you?
just waiting for somebody to open the door.
Okay, let me
Wow.
get the door.
Yeah.
You get the gun, rock gut, and Balderdash, get ready to toss that body.
What do I do with this?
Shoot.
Make sure
whomever's
it's
on the other
loaded.
side.
Bang. Shoots Cadaver Kid. Oh, geez, like that?
On the other side of the door.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Open
you
door.
open up the door between the two cars, and you take the step from one platform to the next as the train is kind of jostling about. And there is a bump where you almost lose your footing. You have to grab the rail and you hold onto the body still. But if you had been up above on the roof, you know that like bumps like that are the kind of thing that could send you flying into this sandpaper terrain next to you. You open the door and just throw a body in? Is that your plan?
If this appears like it's the bear, location,
Okay.
then the bodies
Take a
get
look
thrown.
first.
Okay, so you open a door, and immediately heat billows out of this car. It's a hot box in there, and there's a putrid scent of feces and filth, and the sounds of many animals. Looking in, you see that the walls are lined with 30 some cages or so, each of varying sizes. You can see each cage has a padlock. In the corner closest to you is several barrels that appear to be full with like water or some sort of slop. You can tell that there has been like spillage outside, along with a ladle on top of one of them. Several buckets and a broom as well. Inside these cages, you see the smaller cages have all sorts of rats. There are eagles in a couple of them, monkeys in a couple of them, and Bardog, Cadaver Kid, and Balderdash. Your horses are in some of these cages as well.
Joke's on you, I had an ass.
Oh, Princess Gravedancer's here. Let's get her out.
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Wise,
Rocket.
it
I
is so
rolled
good
for
to
it.
see you.
It's fine. I'm gonna take the bear. That's gonna be my mount. Here we go.
I wish
on,
you.
old
Well, I
West.
guess your horse wrestling might move up to bear wrestling next.
So
Mhm.
that brings up a good point. You see your horses are in these cages, and they seem fairly well fed. They've been given feed and hay and all that. There is a bear on the far end here. Let me send you guys the picture too. And the bear is actually in its own cage, but there is a sliding cargo door that is the wall of that bear's cage. Right now the bear is moving, or the train is moving too fast to like jump out of this cargo door. But that would be a way to get your horses off if you could solve the bear problem.
Well, the bear problem is just solved by throwing this your body into that their thing and just keeping the bear busy with the body, right? Was that not the
How
plan that
hard
that
can
lovely
you
lady
throw?
just told us?
You could throw that body through steel bars. I'm impressed.
What
I
if?
mean, it's somebody opens it right quick.
I sure
and
as
then-
hell not opening that because of the bear. That bear's got manpower of 10 of us. That slides open and he sticks his big old paw and he'll just move it aside like we're children, really.
I got me an idea. What if
What's your idea?
we open up that door? You ever play with like a dog and kind of like play fetch with him? We just kind of get the bear all kind of excited about this dead body. Then we open up the door and throw the body out and see if the bear goes leaping after it.
The sliding
Like
cargo door is
off-
shut right now, so you'd have to open.
I know. I
Oh,
know.
Like off the train?
Yeah. So we don't got to deal with it no more.
I don't know if bears are that stupid, but what is stupid is opening that door and giving it an opportunity to get a paw in between and slam us aside.
Oh, but I thought you wanted to. Oh, that's going British. I thought you wanted to.
What's happening, Melvin?
I turned fire. She's a spy.
I can't do an American very
British
well.
accent.
The red coats are
Tricorn
back.
hat, something's up.
But am
But,
I not
I thought you
understanding?
wanted to give it a hug and make it your ride. Animal handling and all that.
That bear gonna kill me if I try to climb on his back. Let's be serious for a second.
Am I not understanding this properly? That in order for us to get from here to where we want to go, that we are going to have to go through that there?
No, you don't have to go through the door. There is a pathway that goes past it if you want to go to the next train car. If you want to get your horses off of this car, you'll have to find a way to get the bear out of the cage. But that would also require stopping the train, because right now the train's moving too fast for even your horses to jump off.
Well, we definitely got to stop the train and rescue our horses.
On the way
Obviously,
back, though, right? We're not
I
riding the
mean-
horses up to the front of the train.
we could let the bear run up to the front of the train.
Is there Bardog's gonna walk, or at least try and see? Can he see the roof above the bear, like the bear's cell specifically?
Yeah, you can walk right up to the cage and look up. You'd see that the bars for this cage are very similar to the rest of your prison car. They run from the floor to the ceiling. The rest of the cages are movable and stackable and things like that and can be pulled. But specifically, this cage is like built in front of the cargo door.
Is there like any seams in the roof above the bear's cage?
The roof is sheet metal, like Rockgut and Deadward traveled across in the last session. So you could definitely like find places where it's secured, but it's not like there are large cracks or anything like that.
I'm gonna just go grab like 2 more bodies so we can like really fill this bear up with meat, and it won't really care about nothing else.
You have
Sounds
no
good.
shortage of bodies.
I was looking to see if the roof over here moved. Maybe the bear's on like a spring platform and it just could launch it out the train. That doesn't look like it's a thing. It's one solid roof.
There is no big red button nearby.
Well, like, we could just put a pin in this for later, because until we can stop the train, we can't do nothing about getting your horses off. Because I think my mule might have been in that store.
Oh,
well, it was mighty tasty.
Sorry. That's my sad.
If he was going to go, that's how he would have wanted to go. So, there's that at least.
But I do agree with you, though. I think, and she like hefted this body down that she was just carrying. She was like, I do think that might be wise to just go about the rest of our business and attend to the releasing of the horses and the nonsense with the bear on the way back.
Well, I'm just going to throw these 2 bodies here close to where the bear is so it can grab and pull them in and maybe get tired over time.
But you're going to have to open the door to get them
Yeah, I was thinking I might shove like an arm through and then it can eventually just shred it and pull bits through on its own.
It's for an ordinary bear. It hasn't growled much at us while we've been standing here talking.
It understands English, and it's just like, these are the dumbest people. Like, ugh.
I'm sure I can get the legs through.
We were
bars.
caught, so yeah.
So far, the bear has been sleeping quietly in the corner.
Okay.
I'm gonna shove these legs through the bars, and then like it can deal with it on its own time.
Balderdash is going to come over to Cadaver Kid, and she's gonna like show you which direction to pull to separate the limbs from the rest of the torso, because clearly
your knowledge really disturbs me sometimes before. But yeah, that looks great.
There's if you pull the wrong way, you're just going to make it more difficult on yourself. Just got to make sure that you are putting the effort in the correct direction. And see, there you got it. Pop right off.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it doesn't need the head anyway, right?
There you go. Pop it on through those bars.
It's too big to fit through.
So piece by piece, you put a corpse through to the bear's cage. At some point, you are going to wake up this bear, and it would start pacing and start feeling a little territorial and growling. But once you get like a limb in there, it definitely starts shredding the limb, chomping down and chewing.
Oh, there we go. Happy as can be.
I have to say, as someone who's only of the fraud and stealing persuasion, this has been the most disturbing series of events that I've ever had to sit through with you 2 ladies. And I just want to say, no thank you for that, but it's a thing that's happened.
Well, I mean, these guards were going to do terrible things to Princess Gravedancer. I had to do what needed to be done.
But the delimit, I think, is where there was the line of killing. I get that. In stealing, people die, but the delimit, I think, is it's neither here nor there. Let's just get away from this bear.
Oh, well, you don't work in a factory very often, do you? It happens there.
I have no intentions for your limbs, in case you were wondering.
Oh, that puts me right at ease. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to finding this dock and seeing about getting some money.
Artham has like really like stereotypically, like generically like tiptoed, like vaudeville style, like across to the next door, trying not to wake the bear.
As they start,
as they're hacking limbs off.
It's like, it was sleeping. It was in a good state. We could have just left it as is.
It'll go back to sleep, and now with a full belly, it'll be even better rested and less ornery.
Now it's got a taste for human flesh. We don't know what's been eaten.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure
All
it
that
already did.
Food's gonna
We don't know
become
that.
energy.
Most folk don't like eating human. We taste all kind of stringy and
Yeah,
weird.
but can you
How
imagine?
do you know that?
I'm a cook. I study.
It's all,
Well, that's a
it's all
fair
in the
point.
preparation.
I
though.
go to
It's all in
professional
the
conferences.
preparation.
Thank you very much.
But look here, you're a professional chef, right? There's a warm little environment, nice and hot, and you get a bear with a full stomach. That is going to pass right back out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the next car. If
All right,
anybody
very
would
well.
like to join me,
Yeah, I'll be right, behind you.
you stay right there, bear. Good bear. Okay.
All right. So
Here
Raka
we go.
and Bardog are leading towards the next car. Cadaver Kid and Balderdash are staying a bit further behind, but following after a moment or two, right? After you get the last foot shoved through the bars.
I've got to get those bits in.
All the bits are in.
Like 3 bodies to shove through here now.
So Raka, you open the door, and again, each time it's like blinding because your eyes adjust to the car, the dimness, and then the brightness of that sun. You can feel it cooking your skin as soon as it hits you. You cross to the next car, you open the door,
I have a plan.
and you find. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I have a plan, but no, I don't want to interrupt your description.
No, what's your plan? Go ahead.
Okay, so this time, Artham was going to run, just like speed into the car, screaming, "The bear's loose! The bear's loose!" Just like that.
That's fantastic. So you open the door, rush in, Bardog a bit behind, staying at the door or rushing in. You find this is a laboratory of sorts. The left half of this car is a maze of metal shelves laden with taxidermied composites of different animals that have been like sewn and sutured together. The right wall has a surgeon's table, on top of which is a body wearing the tattered remnants of a prisoner uniform and covered in these bloody feathers. There is a man who is craning over this body. He's wearing a thick rubber apron and thick rubber gloves, and he appears to be operating, seemingly like suturing the flesh here. You rush in, yelling, "The bear is loose." And he looks up. He's wearing glasses that like magnify his eyes, giving him like a bug-eyed look. And somehow, with that look of fear, you see the body also, the head, the eyes flash open, looks up towards you. You see a woman who was taken from the prison cars a couple days ago, and she reaches up a leg, but it's not a human leg anymore. It's an eagle's leg with sharp claws. The claws slice through the rubber apron of this doctor, spilling his guts and innard. They slice back, easily slicing his throat open. He starts bleeding out, falls next to the table. The harpy prisoner flips over, and you are now face to face with her as you were rushing in, yelling, "The bear is loose." We're going to go ahead and roll initiative here.
Shit, Artham, I think you found the lady's dad.
Artham's just like, "Well, how you doing?"
What's with everyone on this damn train to do lemon
Likes them
things?
chicken legs.
Time and place. Get your pistols.
I don't think
Oh,
ambushery is going to help as
What?
much on this round because you're a little bit surprised by this as well, I would assume.
I am.
How
How dare you? I was
everyone go
completely
ahead and
prepared for
roll.
this.
Roll d6s, and a 4 through 6 means you get to act first.
5.
4
I
for me.
also got a 5. Both
Yeah.
Stunices.
I got a
Nice.
6.
Okay,
Oh.
so everyone gets to go, but we're going to say we'll go in the order Raka, Bardog, and then Balderdash and Cadaver Kid. You can decide after that. So Raka, you are face to face with this harpy, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Okay. So I think Artham, man, he's got the chain. I've been doing the chain. I might as well continue the chain. So I think he's going to try to wrestle. And
and see if he can just sort of, especially since she's got like these sharp claws, he's especially trying to keep those away from me and Bardog. So he's like, oh no, down girl, and he's gonna try and do that, I guess.
And this is an animal-human hybrid, so I feel like this is the closest he'll get with.
It's true.
Horse wrestling.
It's true.
I mean, just like a centaur, but bird.
It's wrestling.
Horse of a feather, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you the horse wrestling on this one.
Are you kidding?
Claws, not hooves. Claws, not hooves.
I know.
They're both made of keratin.
I have a different argument. Would my flesh stitching apply? Because she has been stitched together and spliced together with different body parts, and so I know where the stitches are and how best to remove them.
I do like that one. I'll let that one apply. She is evasive. She's very wiry, I guess.
Answer the question.
So it's a 14 to hit. But go ahead and roll grit with advantage because of your flesh stitching.
Okay. Here we go. First one. That's a bad roll. I'm not going to tell you what it was. Second roll was much better. 13 plus 2 is 15.
15. Okay. So that, go ahead. What did we say your damage was? I keep asking. I'm sorry.
It was half the grit plus 2. So it would be 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right. You pummel her with this chain, and some of these stitches are fresh. And you do burst a few of them. You see blood starting to seep out. But it doesn't seem to affect her too much. Maybe because it's bludgeoning, maybe because of the adrenaline of the moment. She's still very much in this fight. Were you trying to wrestle her too, you were saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to
for the wrestling claws?
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap and keep the claws at bay from anybody in melee.
Kind of like lasso the legs almost.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna say that you two are wrestling back and forth like that. That will take her turn then. Bardog, what are you doing?
Bardog's gonna rush over to this medical table. Are there labels on the medicines?
Give me a wits test to see if there's anything you recognize. What are you specifically looking for?
A sedative. I got a 5. Damn.
So you don't see anything that you would immediately strike you as, let's be honest, your experience with sedatives would likely be opiates. So you don't see anything that has opium or laudanum or anything like that. The thing that really sticks out to you is on a side table next to the operating table are 4 syringes filled with this scarlet liquid. It doesn't look like blood. It looks a little bit more less viscous, but it definitely has that similar color.
Is it similar in color to what's leaking out of the stitches that were torn by Rotgut?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
I don't know what the hell's going on. Did the uniforms that we stole, did any of them have handcuffs on them?
No, there were no handcuffs or manacles or anything like that. Only just what the prisoners actually were
And there's
using.
nothing, I'm going to assume, in this room, that no manacles in this room either.
Go ahead and give me a luck test.
Okay.
We'll say just standard
18.
12. 18. Yeah, we'll say you spend some time searching. This is going to take your action here then. You're going through all the medicine here, and you go across. You do find a set of manacles, and we'll say that they were still attached to a pair of legs as well.
Well, hold her steady, Rodgut. I got some manacles so we can keep these limbs of hers. It's just shackled.
She's an armory one. I'm sorry, I meant she's an armory one. Oh, goodness.
I said armory, damn it. Damn it. Oh, bad time to slip. Yeah, you pick up the manacles and you're able to like pull the legs through because they've been severed. So now you have a pair of manacles. Let's skip to Balderdash and Cadaver Kid. You hear the yelling about bears. You hear yelling about armories and manacles. You don't really have a good view of what's happening though.
Well, I reckon they might need some help. I guess pistols, let's head out.
After you.
All right.
The two of you burst in and you see Rockgut wrestling with a harpy, a woman with wings for arms and eagle legs, but a humanoid torso and a humanoid head.
That's just not right. I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. We're going to make this a little fun. She is wrestling with Rockgut.
Yep.
So this is going to be a tough shot.
Okay.
And if you fail by 5 or more, you're going to hit Rockgut.
I'm sorry, who's this one for?
It was really nice knowing you, Rockgut.
She's not been exploding on damage at all.
How much health do you have? I haven't rolled a d20 yet. I don't know my luck.
I have 8, but we also have boosts. You can always use those boosts for this.
That's true. All right, sorry. Is this a grit check?
So this will be no, it's a slick for shooting difficult.
Well, I might just take a +1 on this one at least. If you wouldn't mind, Melissa, thank you.
Got it.
That would be a 13. And I needed what, a 14?
You needed a 14, but you didn't miss by 5. So your shot just goes wide. You were trying not to hit Rockgut, and they just jumbled together with the jostling of the car. They started pushing one way, and your shot ricochets off the wall.
Rock, get away from me! I need a good, clean shot. You're in the way.
She's a lady. Come on now. What's
Well, I'm not sure she is much of that anymore. About 50-50.
That's just disrespectful. Oh my God, put your clothes away. Oh God.
Balderdash, what are you doing?
Balderdash thinks that like this is a horrible idea, but she thinks that like making a harpy lady sandwich with Rockgut on one side and Balderdash on the other might be the way to get
I'm
this
sickened but intrigued.
Now, I feel like we're going into the full frontal again, and I don't think we need to go down that route.
That shooting thing looked a little hard.
I don't know. I haven't pointed this out, but harpies are almost always naked.
I did say that she was wearing the remnants of a prison uniform.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so let's call this grit then.
Okay, so I'm going to take one of those boosts to make this a straight roll. So it'll be a +1, or it'll be a 0 instead of a -1.
Okay, and I'm going to call this the wrestling rules too. So if you fail, the harpy's going to get to do the blow to you. The damage.
Okay, that's fine.
The damage, not
12.
12. You needed a 14 with the harpy. It has evasion, so you needed the DR 14 for this one specifically. So she is going to be. You rush forward trying to like pin her against Rockgut, and one of those eagle claws just shoots back and out and just slices at your torso. How much health do you have? I need to check to see if this explodes.
You got a new hat, didn't you?
Okay.
Like, are you allowed to just grab another hat and just like?
When you're wearing a hat, you can use it. It's the luck test to see if you get the hat back.
Well, it's okay.
So
technically wearing a toupee.
That's true. Should have never had it. But you gotta let the roots settle. I mean, I was gonna argue like, did she get like advantage on the roll?
No, she didn't.
Because she's not trying to wrestle somebody who isn't already being wrestled. She's trying to wrestle somebody who's already been wrestled.
That's fair. Go ahead and take advantage.
This is a tag team kind of situation.
Jeff really enjoys that negotiation.
I really do.
I enjoy it too as a GM, so it's all good.
13, unfortunately.
Oh, no,
okay, so still not enough. I did look it up. She does not explode, but it is 6 damage. You did find a new hat. So you can use your hat to avoid damage. It doesn't have to be a shot. I just looked that up too. It can just be a single attack.
I am trying to picture this in my head of how.
Well, you're about to get a lot more shaved from your toupee. And
so it was more of
hair.
like the wing arm that sort of goes up and is trying to like take my head off, and instead I just sort of
Nice
turn the
little
hat
buzz
sideways
cut.
a little bit.
All right, give me a luck test for your hat then to see if it's destroyed by the harpy.
14.
14, so it is not. So the hat goes flying across the room. You can't use it again in this fight unless you take a turn to pick it back up. But you avoid most of that damage. The wing and the claw were slicing at you, and it's wicked sharp. You can see the doctor has his guts pouring out from this thick rubber apron that claw easily sliced through. So you narrowly avoided death there. Back to the top of the round. Let's have everyone roll initiative again.
3.
6.
3.
Okay. So Balderdash, you're up.
So now that I am kind of up close to this thing, am I in a position that I can now kind of put my pistol in its belly?
I would say
Like a
it's still a tough
shoot
shot
from
because
melee?
you're wrestling and fighting, but I will say because you're so close, I won't put Raka in danger. So if you fail, you won't hit Raka. But it's still going to require a slick check to hit.
Yeah, slick to hit. All right, so slick for me is 1. So
Don't
and you
forget
need
the
a
bonus
14.
dice.
oh, that's a 1. That's a 1 that I rolled for a total of a 2.
All right, so everyone loses their aces on a nat 1. So everyone's aces are wiped out. You do not get those rerolls anymore. But don't worry, at the start of the next session, you get one more, or if someone rolls a 20, if you roll a 20, you can get an ace back. So
Just
unfortunately,
stop your wriggling, and she's just like trying to shoot, and she like thinks that she's figured out like center mass with this thing, but it's just moving around so much, and she's also watching her hat because she's got to figure out. She just had that one for like 45 minutes, and so she's a little bit distracted.
this car is chaos. There are bird feathers flying up in the air. The train is jostling. It seems like it's going around a curve right now. So everyone kind of leans towards one side. The shot goes wide, doesn't hit anyone, but it does ricochet off the black iron. Raka, it is the harpy's turn. It makes sense that she would just be slicing at you, but this is wrestling. So this is also going to count as your attack. So if you want to attack on this turn, you're going to be making grit right now. And you could do damage.
Okay.
But if you fail, she does damage to you.
That's all right. I don't mind. It'll tickle.
Okay. So so I'm rolling right now.
Grit, and you need a 14.
Does my
Use them
flesh stitching
bonus
still
dice.
apply?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking any boosts?
I don't need it. It's an 18 on the first roll. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's a 15 on the second roll. I passed on both. Is that like a crit? Is that a non-natural crit?
Only nat 20s are crits here. So that's another 3 damage. And at this point, you're hitting the same sort of suturing. You're opening it even more. You can see this wing is actually starting to fall off, but there is still a strange amount of strength in this creature. And she's still slicing at you with the claws. You're doing your best with the chain to protect yourself. They're taking the brunt of the damage here, and you do not get hurt.
I feel like
that
he's
is
just
your turn.
throwing her all over the place so that her claws are attacking other people. Like, oh, settle down. She's got a strange amount of strength. As he just, it's
Ow! Ow!
like a weed
Ow.
whacker. I'm just kind of attacking everyone else. Wait a second.
Exactly.
I got something here. If we get out of this, I got ourselves $1 million idea.
And that is your turn then because of the wrestling. And then Cadaver Kid and Bardog, what are you two doing?
Well, stay still on this one. I'm gonna try to shoot again.
Are you going to try and move up like Balderdash did so that Rocket won't be in danger?
No.
It's such a Steven response.
No. I will take a +2 this time. I will use those little bonuses that we keep getting. Well, I rolled a 10. It's not 5 away, at least.
Nope, not 5 away.
I thought you said it was 15 to hit.
No,
It's
but
14 to hit.
Oh, my
It's
bad.
14
And
to
if it was
hit.
5 away, so 9 would have
Yep.
hit Raka.
That +2 meant I didn't hit yet.
Ooh.
So I rolled an 8.
Raka, you're holding the legs and you're like spinning around, and a bullet flies in between the harpy and your arms, and it just like blasts feathers.
It's all right.
You
I'll
hear
get it next
ricochet on the
time.
other side.
I like to think that Harpy and I share a look as she turns around. We're both like, huh? I don't know. These folks can't hit the bro side of a barn. And we go back to wrestling.
Yes, there's a momentary pause, and then
we're really starting
That
to
was
bond
rude.
here.
My feelings are hurt.
Bardog, you're up. You've got a pair of manacles here.
Yep, I'm gonna try and manacle 2 limbs so there's less damage and
Yes.
more wrestling power. And I'm
Go
gonna
ahead and
use-
take advantage because Raka is also wrestling with her.
I'll also use some bonus die because the +2 because I feel like I'm gonna need it. And it was
All right, so it's going to be grit. You need a 14, and you roll 2 d20 and add 2 plus your grit.
13.
We'll go ahead and say with the 13 you get 1 manacle on, but not the other. So there's just too much chaos going on. You rush forward with the 1, and she wasn't expecting it because she's still fighting with Raka, and Cadaver Kid is shooting bullets at them both. So you easily go up and clamp the other one, and with that she starts panicking even more and thrashing about. The manacles start flying. You're holding on by one end as best you can. She's flapping her wings, and it really pulls her back, but that wing is starting to fall off as well. So you've got 1 manacle held onto, 1 on her leg, and then Raka has the hold on her as well.
I like to imagine that Bardog like is looking over one shoulder at Raga and like, how we keep getting ourselves in these situations? Like we're just talking like she's a table between us.
I don't know. So would you say that, since we shared that moment, that she came to a pause, making the manacle being slapped on the leg? I'm just teasing. That one I'm screwing around. I'm screwing around. That one I don't really mean.
So it's the next round initiative again.
Three.
Dos.
All right, makes sense. Rockgut and Bardog, you're in the thick of it here, so you two go first. You guys go ahead and decide which one of you is going first.
I want to try and manacle her if you're fine with that. Make her job easier.
All right, same thing. This time you do need the 14 to get the second
fairy
one.
tale. It's like a fairy tale. Look, that's slipper. You just put
That's
it on
a 19.
and then you married her or something. I don't know.
19.
19. We got him.
Between the two of you, you slap that other manacle on, and you like pull on the chain in the middle to pull it tight. So these claws are like pinned together essentially. And she starts screaming a human scream, very high pitched, angry scream. But you have essentially both of her claws pulled. If she does any damage, we'll say it's half damage. And she's also very injured here. So Rockgut.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep strangling and trying to pull the stitches out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and advantage here because she can't move that well either.
All right. How many boosts do you have?
I
keep getting advantage, so I feel bad taking him because I have advantage when I'm attacking, and you guys are gonna kill me if you miss too bad. So, no,
well, use it.
It's okay. Do it.
No,
use it.
Nope. I said no, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Missed on the first. 16. So 14 plus 2.
That's a hit.
Plus 2 for my grit in the second one. All right. So it's another 3 points. It's flat.
Describe this combo kill between you and Bardog. Bardog gets the legs pinned. What are you doing to finish it off?
So I like to think the legs are pinned. Bardog's holding on to him, and I just give like the torso a good yank, and the legs just like sort of stay stuck to the manacle, and the body goes with it, and we just like yank the legs off. We just pluck them. And as I'm holding the body and I'm looking at him like, it's like a wishbone. One of us better make a wish.
I was going to make the same joke.
Oh, sorry, buddy. Oh, goodness.
Bardog, we'll say since you're like right there, Rockgut pulls the legs and the manacles stay down like where you have them pinned. And you see the sutures and the stitching still on these eagle legs. Blood is dripping down from the torso of this harpy. She immediately starts like falling into shock, going catatonic as she's bleeding out. There's no way to prevent this. There's just 2 amputations. But as you look through this dripping blood, you do see the doctor that was operating on her trying to pull his innards back in through this rubber, and he feebly reaches up and points towards that table of syringes that you found earlier.
Yeah, I don't think we ought to do anything for him because he made this.
Sir, are you going to go psycho on me if I stick you with one of them there needles?
Please. Help.
Where's your valuables?
There you go.
I'll pay.
Yeah, where? On this train that we can confirm before we give you any sort of medicine.
Give me a wits test here.
No. Oh, no,
persuade.
no.
This has got to be advantage. This man's life is hanging by a thread.
I'll say advantage, but also difficult. So 14. Advantage because his life's hanging by a thread, but he's bleeding out. Like it's not about convincing him. It's about his coherency.
Oh, I got a -3, but let's give it a go. I really shouldn't have been the one to negotiate this.
Balderdash is just walking over to
Never
him.
mind, I got
You got
some
a
good
nat.
rolls.
You got a nat 20 because
Oh,
it's
I
a
got
17.
a nat 20. You're right. It's a
Nat 20.
nat 20 for 17. I've got some aces back for people if they need some re-rolls in this last moment.
So you can get an ace, or you can choose to learn a new skill.
Oh, I'm going to
people
learn
are
a new
dying.
skill. I guess I should learn negotiation and give myself
right.
advantage on my -3
Clearly.
wits.
You now are the face character. You do all of the negotiation
With advantage and -3. So
It's
you
like a
ask
plus
where his
one in the
valuables
end.
are. You ask where his valuables are, and he feebly says, "Engine."
All right. Well,
Engine.
All right, I'll stick him with a needle if you
I'm
guys
going
are
to go
okay
run
with
and
it.
grab
Maybe
those.
put the manacles on them first and then stick
That's
'em.
good. Yeah.
Balderdash,
Can
let's
I
go
shoot
grab
him?
the loot. Nope.
Can I sh-
Not yet.
So it-
Not yet.
I'll manacle the doctor just in case he gets Hulk rage or something, and then I'll give him the injection.
All right. So you slap the manacles on, and honestly, like taking the time to do that is really pushing how long he has to live. You can tell he passes out. So you're really facing the clock here, but you get the syringe, you slam it into him, and as you do so, his innards begin to pull themselves up and into his body where the cut is, and his throat that was slashed. The blood actually kind of retreats back into his throat as well. You can see the color returns to his skin, and then his neck begins to pull itself together. There is not even the faintest line of where the scar would be. He looks healthy as can be, and after a moment,
Did this man make a deal with the devil? What the hell's going on here?
well, thank you very much. That was a close one. I am indeed in your debt.
What the hell just happened? You had your guts pouring out on the floor, and then they sucked back in like some kind of... I don't know any non-modern comparisons, so just audience interpret your own.
Well, I'm a doctor. That's my miracle cure.
What is it?
Oh, it's a little bit of nomenclature. That's the working title for it. I haven't come up with a real name. You all are free to use some as well if you wish. I don't know.
Nava's
if
gonna
that-
turn me into no bird slashing person. What are you gonna turn into? Is it gonna
Oh
make you
no, it doesn't turn you into nothing. It does nothing but heal you. In fact, I use it to make sure that she devil there would survive the operation.
And Balderdash is just standing behind him with a gun trained at him, just sort of like looking at everybody who's carrying on a civilized conversation with him. And so she's just sort of just has that questioning face, waiting for
already
someone
gone for the
to
loot.
Oh yeah, the person that was helping delimb something for a bear is worried about the person delimbing. All right. I like how I finally accept it, and now you're worried. Why am I getting this wrong? I don't understand.
I just need the money. Get my horse out.
Of
And
course.
anybody going to be upset if I dispense with this?
Well, I mean, I don't think we should kill him until we stop the train
Oh,
and get off it.
sorry,
safely.
I didn't see you back there. You don't need to point that gun at me. I mean you no harm.
Oh, she don't need to, but I
don't
think she'd
believe
like
I don't-
that.
There's a prisoner bird person sitting on the ground here, half pulled apart. I feel like that could have been one of us if we had just passed out a little
That could
bit
have
too
been me.
long.
That could have been me.
She is balding already. You might have tried to put feathers on that.
Yeah, I was hoping she might be the solution to a problem I have, but now that you all here, I don't see why you couldn't be the solution to this problem. You see, there's a couple more experiments on this train, and they're seeking to halt this train, and I can't have that. If you all don't mind, I'll pay you 500 silver per person. Each one of you, 500 silver. If you just make sure this train keeps running. And I'll,
What?
of course, I know I haven't hired you, so I'm assuming you're prisoners. It's no big deal. I'll just write the books off that you died en route. It'd be free as birds.
Bardog's
Yeah,
gonna
that-
whisper to Rotgut, "Is 500 silver a lot? I don't know what kind of economic
It's a
situation
lot.
we're in.
It's enough to live on for like a year.
Okay, yeah, that's a fancy offer. That's a very handsome starting point. I like it. I like it. Do you have that money on you currently?
Oh no, I've only got a few silver on me, and he pulls out and
Yeah.
as he like goes through his pockets, oh no, my key ring is missing.
Well, oh dear. Okay, we'll come to that in a second. See, here's what I'm concerned about is that you said that the train can't stop, and you don't actually have the silver on you. So how is it you're gonna pay us that silver that you are?
Oh no, the
Promise.
silver's on the train.
Oh,
It
excellent.
can't
Where
stop
is
till it
that?
gets to Fort Gullah.
Oh, I see.
Rest assured, I'm a man that honors his commitments.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, if I can ask, you said that there are two more. What was the word you used? Creations on
Experiments, mutants. Mutants is a good word. I like mutants.
I don't mutants. I don't know what that is. So what do they look like? Do they have the
And
wings?
there might
and the
be more
chicken
than
legs
two as
and-
well. There's a handful of them.
Might be as in R.
Oh yes, most assuredly.
How many? And what do they look like?
Why are they all angry? Why can't you make nice ones?
That's a good point.
Would
That's a good
you
question.
be in a good mood if somebody replaced your legs with chicken legs? Would you be in a good mood?
You know, I
Not
think
very
she brings up a
legs.
good point.
But like,
It's really a
bare
flaw
legs.
with the starting material. There aren't
A
many
flaw
nice
with the
people-
starting material. The whole flaw is the idea in your head. Why even do this in the first place?
Well,
From the
science
starting
must
material.
progress.
Sure, science. Yeah, that's right. So these mutants now, like they're on the train, they're dangerous and such. Like what kind of things they do? They got like big claws for hands. They shoot like laser beams out
Oh,
of their
some of
eyes
them
or something.
do. Laser. I'm not sure what a laser beam is.
And they control
no,
like the weather and everything.
Well, they don't
possibly.
Do they
forget
get all
the-
like up in your brain and tell you what to
Don't
do?
forget the one that can like pull out claws from their hands and the like.
Yeah, like whoosh, and then like heals like super fast and everything. Or one that's
I'm
like
the one with the
disappears
mind.
and
I'm not
shows up somewhere
understanding
else. These are all like we should write these down. You should make mutants like that. That sounds fun.
Way better.
Well, science
Balderdash
must
just
progress. I'll do
sticks
my
the-
best.
Gun in his back. Can you please just describe what it is that we are looking for?
Well, just if you find a mutant, if you find a hybrid, animal, person connection, they're easy to spot. You know,
I
like one of them's
need
got the
you
head of a
to explain to
crocodile,
me
one of them's got like
it-
cougar legs. You know, that one had wings.
A
It's pretty
50-year-old
clear
woman's
what
legs?
I'm talking
That's-
about.
Is it
And,
proper
you know,
then to call them mutants, though, since there's technically not any chemical mutation that seems to be transpiring, and it just
When
seems like
did
you're
you
just
become an
stitching
expert in
I
the
am a
human
cook.
body?
There's much chemistry involved. Okay, so like,
well,
you just
actually,
kinda
there
like-
is a chemical mutation. Now that you
Oh.
mention it.
Well, I beg your pardon. I would like to see your notes, though. That would be fascinating.
Oh, most assuredly, my library is just a couple cars up, and just go through to the engine, make sure there are no mutants, and then come back and tell me. I feel like it's time for a reset button on this little experiment.
And Balderdash
500 silver
just-
apiece, and if you do a good job, I'll hire you on as guards. You work for me, 500 a year.
Yeah, getting attacked by bird people.
Well, I don't think I'll try that experiment again. That one didn't go very well.
Hippo
What-
people, it don't make no horse people.
Now
Horse
you don't
people,
be
that's a good
touching
idea.
no
I should
hell
try that
horses.
one.
You don't. No. All right, Balderdash, I'm with you on this.
Wait.
The torso is so big on a horse. Would I connect a human torso to like where the neck goes, or would I just put the head on top of the head?
Stunice has flipped the gun over, and so she has the butt that she's just like kind of like raised behind just to try to like put him to sleep if everyone is done negotiating with him.
I feel like there's a sword of Damocles. Oh, that's a pistol right over my head.
What kind of monster is a Damocles? Is that like Satan people? They're damned and something?
Oh hell! She just goes him on the head.
Normally, I would just give you this because he is like a scientist, but he just took that syringe, so let's call this a grit check.
Son of a bitch! All right.
I was about to say, how
Did
long
you
do the
just keep
effects of
doing
this?
it?
Now
You just
look
keep
here.
bashing his
He
head
does
till
have
it
manacles
works.
on, which means I think she should get advantage.
He's
True.
got manacles on his legs, and did you put him on his hands or legs?
No, I put him on his hands. Humans are
Okay.
not dangerous with their feet.
Well,
Humans aren't. You're right. So he's got manacles on his hands. It wouldn't be advantage because he wasn't moving. So it's just really just about the.
a little thing I heard of called Taekwondo that focuses on the leg bit a little bit better.
What kind of monster is a
21?
Taekwondo?
You never want to meet
That
in
was
the
a what?
dark alley.
Plus, feet are
What'd you
just
roll?
gross.
So I took it as a straight, so it was a nat 20.
Nat 20. All right. So you're learning a new skill or gaining an ace. What would you prefer?
Brief negotiations.
Bludgeoning. Learning to bludgeon.
It's actually a term. If you're hitting someone with a pistol in the Old West, it's called buffaloing.
Could also do
Well-
like mythology because he was talking about the sword of Damocles and stuff.
Yeah.
she and her
Chemistry?
wits -1.
We've been talking
She
about
damn
chemistry.
Peruse your
Damocles
notes.
these
What the
nuts.
hell did-
Yeah, so now I've got stealthing, seeing in the dark, lockpicking, and buffaloing.
All right.
You are going to forget what this is.
You hit him, and he is knocked out, and you see he's unconscious, but you do see a little bit of blood like mats into the hair, and then immediately starts pulling back. So he is still healing, but he's unconscious for now.
I mean, we could just throw him into the desert and let him walk. Because honestly, the money's just the front of the train, and I don't really want to work for him. Considering,
I think the
I
stuff
mean,
that falls off
hurting
the train.
horses. I'd have
Yeah.
first thought.
But
We
just
could
so you know,
get
he won't
him.
be walking anywhere because like stuff that falls off the train at this speed, I think gets shredded. Like Balderdash's
Well,
hat.
Did you see my hat? It just 2 pieces. Not
Yeah,
that I don't mind
It's
him
a very sad one.
doing that.
Right.
Too.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. So sorry you lost your hat and I lost my mule. Totally the same kind of thing. Okay,
Well, your
anyhow.
mule might be ahead in the next cart. You know, you
That's
consider
true.
that.
Oh God
Good.
Almighty, we're gonna have an ass person.
Yeah.
Well, you
you're,
don't know that he used the ass part. I can't even get through it.
You know, we could probably just give him to the mutants and make them our friends.
I was saying we could put him in one of them cages. back
Wait,
there.
yeah, you shared a
Gag 'em.
moment. Raga, you shared a moment with these mutants. Did it look like it was feeling whatever? You had some googly look in your eye. I don't understand what was
Yeah.
going on when I was trying to.
I'm pretty
manipulate. Did
sure
it-
she was thinking, "Ow, this really hurts. These people are attacking me. I want to run away." That is kind of what I was thinking. And so in the back of my mind, I felt kind of bad because like she didn't probably ask to be made into a half bird woman. So I feel kind of guilty. But at the same time, she's been was slashing at folk with talons and things. So yeah,
It was a quick run together. You had to do what you had to do.
we could give her any more of them injections. Maybe we can give her one of those.
I'm not doing that again. No.
And the doctor at your feet is starting to stir a little bit here. He's starting to come to.
Kick him in his face.
All right, we'll keep the success going. He's stirring. Oh, now why'd you have to go and?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there.
Why don't we just we could always gag him and bind him and put him in one of the cages in the bear room. Not with the bear.
We can put him with the bear.
We could technically put him with the bear. That could
Put
be
him
kind
with
of
the
fun
bear.
too.
I'd put him with one of the eagles. Maybe they'll poke his eyes out or something.
Well, he did. They were eagle legs, so they probably have some retribution coming. Yeah, that's a good
There you
idea.
go. There you go.
I like this.
Let's go and do that.
All right, so you take him back to the cage car. Are you trying to find an empty cage or trying to put him in a cage?
The one.
Oh.
Is there any
Any
eagles
cage with
and
an
birds in here?
Those were like bird cages, and they're big bird cages because they fit an eagle.
People could
so-
fold up a little bit.
Has the bear gone back to
Yeah.
sleep, or is he wandering?
Oh no, the bear is still chewing down.
well, just
It's
throw
only
him
been a
in.
few minutes.
Oh, well, we'll put him in there. He's already
Well,
chewing, so
I
he's
want to
probably
see if
not
there are
moving.
eagles. Are there eagles in here?
Yes, there are golden eagles in here.
Well, okay. So this is what Arden wants to do. Like, come on, Balderdash, come on, get the legs out, get the hand.
Yep.
And so
I got him.
Arden wants to go out to the cage of the eagles and be like,
Now listen, I am very sorry for the death of your compatriot. I'm sure they were a very fine bird, but we have come here to make retribution. We're providing you that who did things to your other, so you can feel some sort of revenge and get closure. And so don't peck at us when we put the body inside.
The bird just cocks its head at you.
And
Okay, I think
Balderdash
it
is just
understands me.
folding. And I'm gonna say with all the not that I have an official skill with this, but she kind of knows how to fold a body and kind of make it take up the smallest amount of space to shove it into this.
The presumptions
eagle's cage.
Melissa makes sometimes. She doesn't have a skill about this, but
She's just like
let's
the
just say she knows
serial
how to do
killer in
it.
her head.
Yeah.
Why is it
Dear God.
always with the bodies with you?
It's not a
Really?
skill, but I am skilled at this.
Balderdash and Rotgut could do some between the stitching that Rotgut can do
Mhm.
and the murdering and disemboweling and stuff that Balderdash knows how to do.
Yeah, it's just a shame
so
you're so
you
insulting
go
towards
to-
my food.
Open the eagle cage. You are momentarily foiled as there is a padlock on this cage. But then you look
I've
back.
got lockpicking. That is an actual skill I do have.
You look back at the wall where the supplies were, and you see that there is a ring with a key on it that you can go easily grab, or you can pull out another stick, another splinter, and start picking the lock. You get it open regardless. Either way, the eagle doesn't peck at you, but definitely is a little irritated by this disruption. And then as you start pushing in the doctor, it's difficult. There's definitely a couple crunching noises that aren't ideal. But we'll say with enough time, effort, and pressure, you get this doctor into an eagle cage with a bird that is furiously pecking at the unconscious doctor, scratching with claws. You close the cage, padlock again, or just
Yeah, of course.
Padlock.
yeah, padlock,
course.
and he is locked in there.
It's not, he's manacled. The padlock's unnecessary.
No, I think it's necessary.
The padlock is to keep the bird from doing what
The
it's
bird
doing
doesn't know how to
to
pick
doctor
open a
to everybody else. If it weren't padlocked, the eagle can just go fly and do that behind us as we're running away.
I think the crunching
Seems
noise was his
logical.
wings breaking.
And I'm gonna go ahead and narrate a little bit of your actions. If you want to say something happened in the interim, that's fine. But you go back to the lab car, you do a quick search, find anything that appeals to you. Do you want to take the syringes?
Sure.
Should we
Might
be
as
touching
well.
this stuff? All right. Well, if we turn into
the
the
very
spawn
least.
of the devil,
We can find like an ethical mad doctor and sell it to them.
right?
Or, you know.
Bardog, you
Unethical.
just make sure you don't go down first this time again. Yeah, here.
Yeah. Like, give me a shotgun, and I might actually hit something.
Nobody ain't got that stuff.
All right. And you. Sorry, I'm still getting the image of the doctor in the cage out of my mind. You find a canvas bag that you throw the syringes in. You pack them, you get them to go. You go through the next car, and you find that it is another prison car, similar to the ones that you started in, but this one is destroyed. All of the cell doors hang open, the hinges are broken, the iron is bent. You know how strong that iron was, so to be bent like that is a huge deal. And there are 6 guard corpses that have been ferociously broken along the floor. You search through here. There's not too much of interest, so you go to the next car. And from there, you can tell from the outside already, this door is somewhat fancier. It's a lot nicer than the rest of the cars that you've been through. You open the door, and you see that this is a double-length car. It's a suite. You get the smell of expensive cigar tobacco with the varnished wood notes undertone. There are extravagant paintings and heavy bookcases that cover the wall, and there's just all sorts of finery. There's a fancy bed with curtains hanging down, a red padded sofa, a massive wooden desk, a taxidermied half bear, half pig, and 3 of these animal hybrids that are rummaging around, ripping up upholstery, smashing bottles, tearing down silk curtains. There is a beast of a man, and I say that because he's muscles, and he's 7 foot tall, and his head is that of a crocodile. He turns and looks towards you all, and you hear calling out, "Guards!" And he rushes towards you with 2 mutants hot on his heels. And we're going to end there for the night. We'll pick up with that next session. Yeah, good session, guys. I didn't expect the doc to be put in a cage. I did expect you to overcome him somehow, but that was fun.
I'm gonna just spend the next few sessions petting the Princess Grave Dancer back in the animal cart.
Yeah, so Kipser will be missing, so we'll say you are staying with the horse and making sure the doctor stays put.
Yeah, I don't. He can do that, but I'll make sure our 3 horses that remain are all tip top.
And Jeff, I'm sorry, I rolled for you and Deadward as well. You were the 2 that didn't come up, so I apologize for that.
Wait, what?
For your horse,
animal
your
being
mule.
alive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I've probably killed and eaten my horse like multiple times. I don't think it's something.
How dare.
That's why I get like mules and donkeys because they're cheaper.
Oh yeah, plenty of meat on a mule still.
Yeah.
Balderdash tells Cadaver Kid like the way that like Devil Eyes likes her mane braided, so she's kind of left.
You got it. I'll make sure it's exactly right for you.
This is
Thank you.
normally where I say let's do some shout outs, but Aaron's not here tonight, so I feel like it just bounces back to me. So if you're having fun with Weird West stuff, oh boy, have I got news for you. I'm working on my own Weird West game, and a couple people are wearing these awesome shirts. That's H for Huckleberry. It's a Weird West RPG. I've designed it myself. I'm really proud of it. And if you'd like to play it with me, you can do that. Come join the Lollygagger Discord, and you can be a playtester. You can be credited in the game. You will not get to be a Deadlands Marshal, regardless of what Jeff says he is. But I have a session planned even as early as tomorrow night if you would like to play. I'm trying to do at least weekly sessions, if not more. And not only could you play Huckleberry, but you can just hang out with us and see the memes that we post in Discord, like pictures of the train cars we put in the Discord and stuff
And
like
X-Men.
that. And X-Men memes from Kipser. There's really no reason not to be hanging out with us on there because it's where all the cool people are. If you like RPGs, that's the place to be. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, man. I think you hit all that kind of stuff. Perfect. Sounds great.
Well, then what's our schedule for the week?
Okay, so Thursday we've got some Simba Room, where Kipser's character has it's so strange. It just exploded. Like what did it? Just like that. Who would have thought?
I'm gonna feed Long so much information.
He's not gonna read his messages.
I know.
Okay. Simmer Room on Thursday. Friday, we're doing some Delta Green. Saturday, we've got our Call of Cthulhu game where they are mad at me because they're not getting sanity back. Because they're like, I thought we were going home and we were going to get our sanity back. I'm like, did any of you actually go home? No, you didn't. You were crashing at your friend's house. You were crashing at your dorm. You went to like some random like revival tent in the middle of nowhere. Like none of you actually went home. Whatever.
Home is where the heart is. Come on.
Well, shut up. Anyhow. And then Monday, we were back to Alien, and that is our schedule. And obviously, go check out the YouTube page, Adventures in Lollygagging. Subscribe over there, like our videos, do all that wonderful stuff. Throw some little chats down there, and say, hey, thanks for making stuff. I'm so hot right now. I'm sweating bullets, and my mind's not working anymore. So I think that's it. We good? We got any more?
We're good. Are we
All right,
rating
buddy.
someone?
Sure. Let's do C+ content. All one word. And I appreciate the fact that it's all just one word. No hyphens. Just go. C+ content. Bye.